Well, KMTV, we are right here. We are everywhere. That's why we are here with this special interview. It's another time of the year where journalists across the U.S. and the Americas precisely, they gather for their annual convention. Convention 2022 is around the corner. In the matter of days, we will be converging there in Boston. Worcester, that is Massachusetts, where journalists from across the U.S., Liberian journalists practicing and forming will sit to discuss matters relating to the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, ALJA. And to talk about this upcoming convention is no other but the national president, the two-term president of ALJA, Mr. Joe Mason. Mr. President, you are welcome.
Thank you, Cyrus. It's good to be here, a new home of KMTV USA. You all have done an amazing job here. I'm really pleased by what you all have done. At least we have a place to come now and sit down and have these kinds of conversations. So thanks to you, to Nathan, and Rhonda as well, and the entire KMTV management. You all have done an incredible job, so thank you.
And thanks for the support as well, giving us, and all of what you've done to, encourage us. We cannot, succeed with all of those. So we remain humble, and this is another place for ALJA, your home.
Yeah. Well, KMTV and ALJA has an amazing relationship that goes back several years ago. We've worked together. You all have consistently covered our events. So we're family. So, yes, so when you also see it, we're excited.
There's another link that we can, and our doors are always open. Meetings and whatever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we'll take advantage of it.
Sure, we have to make use of it. And Mr. President, we go to convention soon in a matter of days, like I said in the intro. What is it like for you? Your second term, final convention into your second term?
The final convention.
Final convention for you.
The second term, yeah. But it's exciting. It's an exciting time. The convention, as always, offers us an opportunity as ALJA members to just meet and brainstorm and to talk about the way forward for our organization, but more importantly, too, talk about some of those pressing national issues in the country. So that's what we're going to be doing at this convention.
And it comes on another side note with a veteran gone down again in person of Mr. Philip Wisset, a man who a lot of people drank from his fountain of knowledge. Like we went to a convention with all EBR. This time it's Philip Wisset. I know it's a high hit for the media and you old folks who practice along with Mr. Wisset.
Yeah. They say the true measure of a man is how impactful is the life he lives. It doesn't matter how long or short our life is, but the impact he makes. And I mean, like I said in my message that you all thankfully shared today on Diaspora Talk, PNW impact was huge. I mean, I was just going through Facebook today and the different messages, the outpouring of grief and the tributes that were being paid to him. It spoke to the kind of person he was, and I think, like I said, his impact was profound, and his passing will be felt by many people, including ALJA, because many of our members were people who he mentored. He was a father figure to many of them, and I think it's a loss for all of us, and it could have come out worse than because if the media needed anybody presence to be around, PNW needed to be around to continue to make the impact he was making.
Yeah, so on the side of that, what's lineup? Convention 2022, what's lineup?
Well, let me begin with the guest speaker. We have Attorney Samuel Kofi Woods, the second, who will be our guest speaker. He is the current legal consultant at the Liberal Law Society.
Okay.
He served as Public Works Minister and Labor Minister in the government of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He brings a lot of credibility, someone who's been in the advocacy business, having worked as the head of the JPC for many, many years. And he's passionate about the country and some of the issues we'll be talking about. So we're excited that we're having him. We're talking specifically, the theme of our convention this year is the 2023 general election, sustaining our democratic culture as we head towards 2023, and the role of the media in this exercise. And I think he can more eloquently speak to the topic, and so we're excited that he's coming, and we're looking forward to what he has to say.
How did you come about with this theme for the convention, especially going into 2023, and you talk about the role of the media. What's your worry as it relates to information dissemination around this time?
Good question. You may be aware that elections is just about 13 months away. It's in October of next year. And we felt as an organization we needed to put a laser focus on these elections, because the last thing we want as a country and as a people is to revert to those terrible times we had in our country, because we could not settle election matters peacefully, because our elections were not conducted in a way that was peaceful, was fair, was transparent. So we wanted to put a laser focus on that to ensure that the media has its role to play, but above all else, every Liberian has to ensure that this election come 2023 are free, they're conducted in a way that it's free, they're fair, they're transparent. The victor is magnanimous in victory. The loser accept the results, and the country moves on. So we want to continue to build upon this progress we've made.
And I know you're going to be cautioning members of the media. The president of Liberia is doing his part, and ALJA remains a strong voice in our society. With everything that is happening, what message will you be directly sending to journalists across Liberia?
I think journalists have a responsibility to ensure that these elections that are coming up, are conducted in a way that I said they're free, fair, and transparent, because we are the watchdogs of society. So we have a role to play. We need to be as ethical, we need to be as objective in terms of reporting, holding the candidates accountable in terms of the promises they're making. So all of those things the media need to do. And when we're doing those things, we are ensuring that the discourse is healthy, and that we all go to elections expecting that when the results are announced, we walk away saying, yeah, it was free, fair, and transparent.
And like you put it, we should be the watchdogs, the mirror of society. That if I would borrow the words of PMW, the mirror of society, is coming at a time. Maybe a month or two later, you have the president of Liberia going to election as well. Two young people. It's a huge, with huge following.
It is,
and I know you are closely monitoring that.
Yeah.
What can you say about the upcoming PUL election just 2 months after ALJA's convention?
I'm excited about the PUS elections, because talking to our colleagues, in Liberia, both candidates are held in high esteem.
Yeah.
So it speaks well of whoever gets elected. Because if both of them are held in high esteem by the members, then it's a matter of who wins, who is the better of the two candidates. Sure. But our admonition to the union membership is to ensure that, unlike the last time around, as watchdogs are people who should lead by example, that these elections are really free, they're really fair, and that there's no dispute after this process, because that was not the case the last time. So that is our caution, and obviously ALJA stands willing to work with whoever is elected president, and we're looking forward to the process.
Okay, just before we come on to the line of activities, I know you talk about the guest speaker, but let's look at the year in review. ALJA work over the last 1 year since we left New Jersey, and now going back to the East Coast, but another end. What can you speak to as it relates to your final term as president? What are some of the gains? What are some of those things you can look back and say, yeah, we were there, and in our second term we made these achievements?
We're really proud of the progress we've made as an organization. The goal of any leader, the goal of any president, is to build upon the success of his predecessor. Among yourself as vice president for 4 years before under my friend and brother Moses Sandy. So the progress we made, are very substantial. For the first time, we were able to launch the ALJA Scholarship Fund to help needed mass communication students at the University of Liberia, named in honor of our fallen colleague Joseph Tay. And that is something we've done for the first time. We're hoping that we can continue to sustain that effort, not just sustain the effort, but increase the number of beneficiaries who are on the scholarship fund right now. The other thing,
how many beneficiaries?
Right now we have two. We have one male and one female who are junior students. Gender balance, of course. And we hope again, like I said, depending on the availability of funds, to increase that number, because there is a need at the university. I mean, you know, you talk to the two young people who we have on our scholarship fund drive, you know, it's just difficult, you know, for them to be, yeah, LU is tuition free, right? But, you know, just getting the logistics, you know, getting books, you know, be able to purchase data, to be able to study transportation. I mean, in the absence of those things, it makes it harder to learn. So we're trying to make it easier for the scholarship recipients, even though they're on scholarship, to be able to learn in an environment that is conducive for them. The other thing we've also done is to increase our funding for logistical support to the media. Okay. This year, for the first time, we were able to donate to close to 11 media institutions laptops and micro recorders, just to help them do their work. Again, you know, it tells you.
And we can safely say that KMTV, you know, tapped into that as well.
Exactly. Obviously, KMTV will not be left behind, right? Because we are founded with KMTV. But I think it speaks to the need that the media has. When the presentation was made by our former Vice President, P.W. Beza, who was in Monrovia at the time, you know, there was one particular media institution he had gone to make the presentation, and they were so excited for the presentation because days before, you know, armed robbers had broken into their institution and stolen, you know, all the equipment they had, and so it just came in handy. I know the need is just huge. The 11 media institutions is just a small portion of the you know, a low portion of the institutions in Liberia. But they say, you know, 1,000 miles begin with the first step, and we're trying to increase our assistance to the media in Liberia, but it's also dependent on, you know, the availability of funding. So we're hoping that at this year's convention, when we do our annual media fund drive, we can again raise more money to be able to continue to meet the needs of our colleagues in Liberia.
The rural journalists in Liberia is another area that, you know, the PF struggle with, and I know you have a bigger picture for that, whether it is Joe Mason's leadership or is the next president coming. What will be your focus when it comes to quality reporting and balanced information coming from the counties?
That is very important. One of the things we did immediately after our convention last year was to partner with the Female Journalists Association of Liberia. They were having the convention in Monrovia, where they had a lot of their members come from outside Monrovia. Mind you, these are people who do not benefit on a consistent basis from the training opportunities that happen in Monrovia because they are so far away. So when we partnered with them, they were having the convention, so we thought it would be the best time to conduct a training with, you know, with FIJA. And it was amazing. Many of the young people who came from other Monrovia benefited, and at the end of the training, we were able to present micro recorders to them as well, which is one of the needs that the head of FIJA had expressed to us. So that is really important. So that way they're going back in the counties and they have some basic trainings, and then they have at least a little bit of equipment to be able to do their work. But it's important. You know, there are many community radio stations spread out, you know, across the country, and to the extent that we can be able to help make a difference in their reporting, you know, that is something we're looking to do as well.
All right, Mr. President, and we will now look at the lineup of activities. We know Anthony Samuel Kofi Woods, like you already stated, is our guest speaker. Who are others that we expect at this year's convention?
So the convention starts officially on the 29th of September when we begin arriving in Worcester, Massachusetts for the convention. We expect on the evening of Thursday to normally when we do go to these cities, I've not been to Worcester before. I like to just tour the city and see what the city looks like. So that would be an evening of just visiting the city, and then one of our members, Mr. Moses Wenyu, is hosting a dinner for us that evening, that Thursday evening. So that kind of wraps up Thursday. Then Friday, the actual event starts, right? We expect to have a panel discussion that will discuss women participation in the electoral process. Women constitute a significant percentage of the voting population in Liberia. So we want to be able to see how we can engage women to hopefully bring them out in the numbers come election 2023. So that will be the crust of our Friday panel discussion. We expect to have senatorial candidate Edith Gunglo, who contested, I think, twice in Nima County. We intend to have former presidential candidate Magdala Cooper speak as well, and then there will be one or two other speakers as well. So that will be Friday morning. And then once we're done with the morning session, we intend to visit the City Hall of Worcester, formally meet the city officials there and announce our presence in the city so they know we're there. And then later on in the afternoon, we will visit Assumption University. Assumption University is a private Catholic college in Worcester. So we'll do a tour of the university and hopefully visit the mass communication department there as well. One of the things we try to do when we visit these cities is to see how we can build relationships with colleges and universities in the cities, with the hope that it benefits ALJA and also benefits our colleagues in Liberia when it comes to training. So that we're still in the initial stages of the discussion, and we'll see how they go.
Okay, then Saturday.
So Saturday is obviously the big day, right? When we have our General Assembly in the morning at 9 o'clock, we begin our General Assembly. We'll have some speakers as well at the General Assembly in the morning. We're still looking at one high-profile speaker who might be traveling from Liberia to the States at that time. If they do travel, we hope we can have them in the morning to also speak. Also on Saturday morning, we will have Mr. Alex Coffey. Mr. Alex Coffey will speak at our convention. He will present on financial management and investment, because hey, we live in this country, Cyrus, and I think one of the things we need to be aware about is how we manage our resources, how we invest, how we make more money in this country. So that will be something that I'm hopeful will benefit ALJA members. You know, because the more money we have as ALJA members, the more we can contribute to ALJA, and the more we can then ALJA contribute to our colleagues in Liberia. So it'll be a really good information for ALJA members. You know, when it comes to investment and financial planning. So Mr. Alex Coffey will do that. And then we jump into ALJA business, where we have our General Assembly. There will be reports from me and from our different chapters. We'll talk about ALJA's future, and then we will adjourn to meet later on in the evening at the formal banquet for the evening.
Where Anthony Kofi will be speaking.
We'll be speaking, and then we'll also host, and I talked about it earlier, we'll host our annual fund drive, the media fund drive, where we raise money to support our efforts and initiatives for the next year.
So what's the excitement from the chapter that is hosting this year's convention? What are you hearing so far?
Man, I'm really proud of our members in New England. When we ended convention 2021 in New Jersey, they seized the movement. They said we will host 2022 convention, and they made their request known early on in the process. And since then, they've been working really hard. I mean, I cannot be more grateful to President Roland Brown, Board Member Sibo Mapaya, and all the members in New England for all the work they've done. I'm really looking forward to having a really great convention to come the 29th of September.
And I know it's going to be a huge weekend in the park with a lot of activities. I heard the old school is going to be kicking some balls around.
I didn't mention that on Friday. So when we leave the university, there's a game with the Worcester Old Timers. Mayu, this is ALJA's first official tournament, and all the old players. Mind you, we got a lot of old players, and many of them tell me they are dusting off their boots now, because those boots, you know, have been in the closet for many years. So, but we know we give the Worcester Old Timers a run for their money. I can tell you that.
Well, a run for your money, Worcester Old Timer. We coming, and the president is going to be captaining and leading the ALJA national team.
Volcano will captain the team.
Shelton. So we hope we can also chat with Shelton on what he's planning for that. But I know you feel what sense of feeling do you have going to Massachusetts, and after working around, you know, and not retiring per se from our activities, but leaving the forefront, what sense of feeling that brings to you as national president?
You know, it gives me satisfaction personally, and I'm sure it does for the majority or all of our members, because our organization serves, you know, a lot of useful purposes, right? we know we're making a difference in the media landscape in Liberia. We know we're doing that. For the first time now, we're impacting, our colleagues in more substantial way. We know our voice continues to be a powerful voice when it comes to advocacy, when it comes to calling for those issues that are important to our democracy, whether it's freedom of speech, freedom of expression, ensuring that the rule of law is respected. Those things are all so very much important to our democratic dispensation. So I'm pleased that ALJA is continuing to perform those functions and even more. Hopefully, at some point at the convention, we can begin to talk about strategically what ALJA needs to be in the next few years. Like you said,
it was just coming up.
Yeah, I'm entering my final year as president, and I'm hopeful that whoever takes over from me can continue to take ALJA in that upward trajectory. Because again, like I said, the goal of every leader is to make sure you're moving the organization one step forward in your predecessor. And I'm looking forward for who my successor is, and I'll be more than willing and excited to lend my support so ALJA continues to be that organization that continues to make a difference, in the lives of our colleagues.
So if I would just actually, as we wrap up, looking a few years from now, what do you see this organization to look like? Sitting back a few years at home or somewhere. I mean, where do you see ALJA go? I mean, few years, maybe in the next 5, 10 years.
One of the things we try to do, we are a professional organization, right? We try to distinguish ourselves from most other organizations that, merely, just hang out, go out, hang out, and have a lot of fun, right? They do that. I mean, not taking away from organizations really who are trying to do their best in terms of reaching out, and whether it's a county organization reaching out and contributing, but we're a professional organization that is able to behave professionally. So I see our organization a couple of years from now not just being, because we started doing that. We live here, Cyrus, in these United States, right? As much as our focus is Liberia and catering to our colleagues in Liberia, we need to have a visible presence in the community as well.
Okay.
We did that with our COVID initiative, where we're out there in the community and
encouraging people
to get vaccinated. That is an important aspect, because I believe the more engaged we are in the community, the way entrenched we are in this community, it helps us, because then we're building partnerships, we're building networks. Those partnerships and those networks can help ALJA eventually, because of COVID, we're able to raise some money because of COVID. Ordinarily, we would not have done that. So that is where I see us. We can do both. We can be entrenched and involved in our community, while at the same time reaching out to our colleagues in Liberia. So we can do both as well. And more than that, like I said, we need to, as an organization, professional organization, just continue to build this relationship with different universities and colleges. We have a very good relationship right now with the University of Minnesota. And last year in Trenton, New Jersey, we established a relationship with the College of New Jersey. This year we're in Worcester now, and we're trying to build a similar relationship with the Assumption University. Because I think, as a professional organization, the more we build this relationship, it enhances our capacity to do better.
Yes, so we're wrapping it up, and I would just give you the time. Maybe there were other things that we didn't touch on. You'd like to stress on to your members as we get prepared for the weekend of the 30th of September, right? To the
29th to the
29th to the 2nd
Yes.
of October. So you have it all. Say, your last words of encouragement to those that are planning, those that are still indecisive yet. What would you want to say to that?
Yeah, to our colleagues who are still on the fence, I'm urging you to please do your level best to make it in Worcester. ALJA depends on all of us collectively. It is not my organization. I just happen to be the president at this point in time. But it is all of our responsibility to ensure that we are supporting all the efforts and initiatives that ALJA needs us to support, so that we can continue to be a better organization. So I'm ordering them to be at the convention. I know this is not election year. Typically, when we have elections, everyone wants to be involved. Yeah. But still, I think we can commit to coming and support the organization. Even if you're not coming, I expect people to pay their dues as well. I also want to, again, I mentioned it, but just say thank you not just to the New England chapter, but to everyone in the community, because they've been tapping into contacts in the communities that they live in to make sure that we have a successful convention. So there's someone who is not part of ALJA who's going to the city hall on our behalf. There are other people who are, contacting residents in Worcester to make sure they're coming out there for us to have a very successful convention. And so, I'm so grateful for everyone's involvement in getting us to where we are and ensuring that, when we do leave Worcester on the 2nd of October, we will say truly we've had a very successful convention.
Mr. President, it's a pleasure having you this evening, and we all look forward to entering Worcester and making our presence felt there while we are there. Joe Mason, he's the National President of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, ALJA, filling us in with the upcoming 2022 convention activities, which kicks off on the 29th of October. There in Worcester, it goes on. The 29th of September goes on to the 2nd of October. So make your way, ALJA members. Get ready. Let's make it happen. KMTV, we are everywhere. My name is Cyrus McGee. I've been here with the National President on this chart, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Jetty Rubber Processing Factory will be the first rubber processing plant built in Liberia. It's situated in Wiela Margibi County. This processing plant, when completed, it will be used for the production of tires and other natural rubber products. The company is expected to process approximately 25,000 tons of natural rubber yearly.
Maximum in a year's time, you will have 130,000 square foot a rubber factory structure here built up by December. We are going to produce, in the first stages, we are going to do TSR 10 and TSR 20, technical specified rubber 10, technical specified rubber 20. And that rubber is basically used to manufacture tires. But after few years, we'll put up on that greenfield side the tire factory of Liberia.
Currently, there are more than 200 Liberian employees constructing the factory, and this number is expected to increase more than twice when the company starts full operations early next year.
He started telling us that he want to build a factory, he want to create job for the people. And then I wasn't believing it from the onset, because to see a man just come, say I want to open a factory, it was very surprising to us. But later, I saw people clearing the land. From there I started seeing machine. I started seeing, he started employing people. Up to now, we got so many people working here, about 200. Some Liberians are here. Not just here, the people you see there, not the only group. He has people all of the places that he has rented or leased. They got people there, even at the clinic. He's building for the people, they got people there now. So we got more workers here now, so I'm very astonished.
Jetty Rubber will not only solve the long-standing calls by Liberians of having a rubber processing plant in a country that was once the world's highest exporter of natural rubber, but it will also empower local smallholder farmers by purchasing latex from them.
We have two different things ongoing here. One, the construction of the site is ongoing. Two, we have the farmers' hope doing the rubber purchase that also has employment. That is what I am attached to, because I'm the owner of the farmers' hope at that level. And he gave us that spot for $1 per year, and so that we operate there to give publicity to his place. By the time he gets ready in January or December, people would have known exactly that rubber is being purchased here. Here we do cash and pay. You bring your rubber here, you lay it down, we pay you on the spot. It's not like other places that they give you slip for 2 days, 3 days, or 1 week or a month. And so it has become a rescue center for many farmers.
I think it's good for me because I can receive care when I need a care, when I can't receive care, so it's good for my community.
You have a challenge in the field, you got to pay your tappers, you got to buy acid, you got to buy net, you got to honor bread, you maintain the farm. So if somebody should owe you longer, you have trouble. So right here, yes, it's rescuing a lot of farmers. If I live in my time to see tire be produced in an arrangement that I am a part of, I feel achieved. As a national leader, I think we all should stand by this. This is why I'm always here. And Though I'm not directly working with him at the jetty rower side, I'm connected to the purchase and sale, but I'm on the site every day. You see me in this regalia. I just from the construction site. I'm working with the engineers there, making sure that it's happy because I want to be part of that history. I think it means well for our country.
So I have up to 2028 from the government of Liberia to build up a tire factory. But my dream is to do it by 2026. I've lived all my life here. I wanted to do something unique which nobody has done.